Okay, so about 2 months ago, a startup from California just released a brand new open source AI model called Bonsai. And what's unique about this model is the fact that it is only using 1-bit precision, essentially Q1. So 1-bit precision is not exactly the kind of operation that you want to use for your local AI models, but this one is a little different because it was trained to be 1-bit. It wasn't compressed to 1-bit. It is just the model. The whole thing was trained to be exactly this level of precision, and that means the model can be very, very small. For example, the 8 billion parameters version of Bonsai is only about 1 GB, whereas the other models from other companies with similar amount of parameters will usually occupy between 12 to 16 GB of the memory or video memory. So that means this model could potentially be operated on a much less powerful computer. And I do really like the fact that we have a new architecture or a new technology to make a local AI model to be significantly smaller. But of course, this model comes with lots of caveats. It is not going to be as smart as the other models with the actual 8 billion parameters with full precision or even at 4-bit quantization. This model is not going to be winning on that area, but still, I'm really interested to mess around with Bonsai, and I want to see if I can use this model to do some coding tasks. Now, I have done some testing. I have tried chatting and using the model to chat with a document or retrieving information from a document, and it was able to do so, but let's say it is not as smart as the other models without this 1-bit precision. So regardless of that, I will try to create a website and also a browser-based video game using the Bonsai 8 billion parameters model. And of course, it is only using 1-bit precision. Now, at the moment, I have actually downloaded the model via LLM Studio. So if you want to try using this model, you can download LLM Studio and then you can install it on your computer, and you can use the model search feature and you can download the Bonsai model. Just search for a Bonsai and you'll see some options from PrismML, and there are multiple sizes. There's the 8 billion, and then there is 4 billion, and then 1.7 billion. There is also another version called ternary Bonsai 8 billion parameters, and this is not 1-bit, this is actually 2-bit, so it is double the size, and that means the model is going to be just a bit smaller, although it's going to consume more video memory on your computer. But anyway, I will try to use the Bonsai 1-bit precision using open code. So I'm going to try to create a website and a video game. Now, just to give you some references, I have created a portfolio website using Qwen 3.5 with 9 billion parameters. It's just one-shot prompting. I'm not providing some extra details, just a simple prompt. And then this is the website that was built using Qwen 3.5, 9 billion parameters. So it is 1 billion parameters bigger, and this is the result. I don't have any other models with exactly 8 billion parameters on my computer, so this is the closest that I have right now, and I think that's still a good reference. So it was built by a 9 billion parameters model. I think it's quite decent. It is not the best. I mean, do not compare this to your favorite AI tools like Claude or ChatGPT. It's not going to be as good, but I'm quite impressed that it is able to create a more, I would say, beautiful functioning website with just 9 billion parameters, and the size of the model of my computer is only actually less than 6 GB, so that's pretty cool. And then I tried to create a Flappy Bird video game using the same model, and this is the result. So I'm going to play the game for a little bit and tell me if this game is playable. Okay, so I can control it. I can control it, but I cannot move past the pipes for some reason, even though I didn't hit the pipes whatsoever, but it's not progressing. And what's fun is that the best score was 119, even though I'm not even able to get through one pipe, so that doesn't make any sense. But at least I can see the game. I can see the resemblance of the Flappy Bird video game using the Qwen 3.5 9 billion parameters model. And now let's try the same thing. Let's build the website, and again using the Bonsai 8 billion parameters model with 1 bit precision. Alright, so I'm going to use open code, and I will just copy the same prompt. Let's start building the website, and this is the prompt. I'm going to start a new session. And by the way, right now in that project, there is nothing except for the agents.md file, and hopefully this can be used by AI to guide exactly how it should be doing the task based on this instruction in the agents.md file. And in case you're wondering, it is just a instruction, and it's something that AI needs to follow every time it needs to do something or to create or modify code in the project. So this is the file. It's very simple, so hopefully it is not overwhelming the AI model. Okay, I'm going to go back. Let's go back to open code and send a message. Okay, so I will select Bonsai 8 billion parameters Q1 or 1 bit, and let's just start building the website. So it should start loading the model on LM Studio automatically. And what's interesting here is that even though the model is only 1.16 gigabytes, but when I check my task manager, you'll see that it is using a lot more than 1 gigabyte of video memory. So it is using about 9, because my computer is already using about 2 gigabytes of video memory for other things. So it is using 9 gigabytes, and I would assume that's because the memory, the context of the model wasn't actually 1 bit. I think it is full precision. That's why it is very, very big. So yeah, at the moment it's not exactly honest to call it 1 gigabyte AI model. It is going to use a lot more if you want to have the full context length. So yeah, I guess that's something that you need to consider, and it is not yet perfect. This is still in the very, very early stage. So yeah, I think in the future, hopefully we can get another version of Bonsai that can at least be compressed and not consuming too much of video memory. Okay, I'm going to go back to open code, and yeah, okay, I got some error messages. Now this is not exactly a unique problem. I've been using some local AI models using open code, and yeah, sometimes, very often, I'll see this error message. It is just AI not able to produce the exact JSON code for performing a particular task. It's not always a big deal. Usually you can just ignore it and it is able to just continue the work. Okay, detect repeated tool calls with identical input. Permission required. I don't understand. Let me just allow once. Write in what exactly? It doesn't say anything. You know what? I think it's going to be interesting if we can see the thought process of the model. Let me see the reasoning summaries and identical input. Okay, I'm going to allow it again. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see the reasoning at all. Usually, if you're using models like Qwen or Gemma, you can see the reasoning summary, so you can see exactly what was in the head. I mean, there is no exactly physical head, but what's in the mind of this model. Okay, now I'm getting very suspicious. I don't know what exactly it is trying to do, so I'm going to deny this request. And let's try it again, and hopefully we can get something from here. And by the way, right now, I believe the file is not yet populated. The folder is still containing just the agents.md file, so it's not able to generate anything. I'll try it again, and hopefully we can get something here. Alright, so I cannot directly fetch the GitHub repository content. Well, I didn't ask you to access GitHub. Then yeah, I guess I have to clarify. You don't have to access GitHub. You can just start building the website based on your knowledge. Alright, let's see how it goes. Alright, I apologize for the confusion. I can definitely help you to build a complete personal portfolio website using just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in a single file. Alright, so let me start by creating a basic template that you can expand upon. Here's how I will proceed. Okay, so this is the section. Would you like to create this template for you? yes, you can start building the HTML file. If this doesn't work, I'll try again, but I'll use a more detailed prompting. And I think that should be something that I have to try at the very beginning. It wants to access the C folder, the C directory. What's the point of that? It doesn't have to. Okay, I'm going to deny that. I will try again. I'll use a more elaborate prompting and hopefully we can get something here. And again, it's not able to create any files, so it's empty right now. And I will add follow agents.md. All right, send the query and let's see if we can get some progress. Invalid, the model tried to call unavailable HTML tool. All right, so it seems that HTML is not available in your system. I don't think there is HTML tool. It is just I just wanted to build an HTML file, but I think it was mistaken that as calling a tool called HTML. And this is a very common theme when you are using a 1-bit Bonsai model. I think you can use it for chatting, just a quick chat, just to get a summary from a document, but I think it's not ideal if you want to have a persistent chat where I will remember exactly everything in the whole conversation. That's something that I have tried several times and it just doesn't look to be very consistent. Okay, I think we got a progress. I think we are able to get the HTML code. It is not in a file right now. The folder doesn't have. Oh, actually, there is now a file. Okay, I didn't expect that. So let's try that. Let's open that file in a browser and let's see the result. All right, so this is from, well, it's actually not bad. It went better than I expected. I thought it's going to be a broken website with almost no CSS, but it is actually not bad. I mean, if you imagine someone who just learned HTML and CSS, start building their own website, I think this is acceptable. And I have seen many personal portfolio websites that look even worse than this. So yeah, I mean, with a little bit of prompting, we can get something that is more coherent from the 1-bit model. So yeah, perhaps one thing that we have learned so far is you don't want to use a simple prompt when you're chatting with 1-bit model. You want to have a more detailed and specific prompting, and even that you might want to try that several times because it might try to do something that is not supposed to do. And by the way, this model was originally, the first time I downloaded this model, there is no label for tool calling, but as you can see, it is actually able to use a tool. So yeah, I mean, given that it was trained based on the Quen 3, I think it was the sort of architecture or something that was used when training this model, so it should be able to use the tool calling feature. Yeah, I think we can confirm that. Okay, now let's move on. I guess I'm going to delete that file or maybe put it somewhere else so it won't interfere with the next project, which is creating a Flappy Bird video game. All right, I'll start a new session and I will just send a more descriptive prompting, and also please follow agents.md file. All right, let's try it again and let's see how it goes. All right, I think it wants to try the web fetch capability or the web fetch tool. Maybe it wants to access content from the web, but it seems to be failing every single time, so I'll stop it. Let me just try it again. I'll send the same query. And again, right now, there is nothing in the project file. I don't see any new file being created. Yeah, it's not very consistent. And by the way, when I'm creating the websites and video games using the Quen 3.5 and 9 million parameters model, it's just one prompt and that's about it. It's just a simple prompt, one message, and then done. It doesn't ask me any more questions. It doesn't try and failing to use certain tools. It just do the work and that's about it. It's way better than the Bonsai model, even though it is not much deeper when it comes to the amount of parameters. And also it was able to somewhat generate a Flappy Bird video game, although it is definitely not fully playable, but at least it is able to create something that resembles that video game. Now it is creating file, I believe, but we're still waiting. If I check LM Studio, I think it is producing some tokens, so that's a good sign. At least it is either thinking or creating something, so we have to wait and see. And I think I will just skip a while and I'll show you the result. Okay, so it was able to finally create the video game file. Now I haven't opened this file, and actually it created two HTML files. So the first time it created a file with the size of, I believe, 13.5 kilobytes, and then it created another file with the same name, so I would assume that it just replaced the older one, and the new file is a bit bigger at 19 kilobytes. So maybe there is more code, there is more logic or style in that video game. So I guess let's try playing the game. Well, just because it has more codes doesn't mean that it's going to work. Well, I don't see anything. I don't see the game. It's not running, it's not playing, so I cannot verify anything. Let me just go back again and I will tell AI to fix the problem. Right now, I don't see the game. I only see a sort of blue screen. Okay, let's see how it goes. Well, I tried to reason with AI, but I wasn't able to make it to fix the game, and it actually kept trying to access some non-existent files on my computer on a different project location. So yeah, that seems to be a recurring problem. So I decided to ask ChatGPT about what went wrong, what is wrong with the HTML code, and it gave me this new version. It's not going to change anything, it's just fixing that one problem, and then I got this result that was fixed by ChatGPT. So perhaps this is what the game's supposed to look like when it was created by the Bonsai model. So let me just play it. It is definitely in a much bigger screen, which is unusual for this game. Usually it's going to be a simple vertical screen, but yeah, I think it looks in many ways better. Okay, yeah, it is actually very much playable. It is visually less simpler compared to the one that was created by the Quen model, but I'm not complaining. At least it is playable. And I mean, if we can get a 1-bit model that is more intelligent, I think it's possible to use it for some agentic tasks or maybe even some lightweight coding on your computer. And also, if you really want to try this model, perhaps you might want to select the 2-bit variant of the Bonsai model. So if you go to LM Studio, you can actually find another variant with the ternary name, the ternary in the name. It is 2-bit, it is bigger, and from some comments, some reviews that I read, apparently this model is a lot better than the 1-bit variant. So perhaps if you want to get a more intelligent result, this is the version of the Bonsai model that you might want to try. Unfortunately, I cannot use this model for this demo. I tried to load the model on my computer, but it kept failing. So I guess it is not exactly native to my hardware, so I cannot use that model. But at least I was able to try and play around with the 1-bit variant of Bonsai, 8 billion parameters. And so far, we can conclude that it is a model that you can use, but definitely not for coding. I mean, you're just wasting your time trying to chat or reason with AI, and every single time it will give you the wrong answer, or if you try to use tools or access files that are not inside of your project. So it is not designed for coding. It is not really good for agentic tasks. I think for now it is still very early, and I think I prefer to use it for something simple like chatting or retrieving information from a document. And at least that's the most probable use case of the 1-bit model, at least at the moment. Still, I'm quite excited to see if this model can get any better, any faster, or maybe even smaller in the future. That would be very interesting because that means more and more people can start using a local AI model on their computer. So I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to see other things about AI or maybe some AI experiment, you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on my future videos. Have a great day.